the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Friday stopped the People's Democratic Party from proceeding with its planned national convention, scheduled to hold in Ibadan, Oyo State, on November 15 and 16, pending further notice. Ruling on the suit, Justice James Omotosho ordered that the convention be altered until the party complies with the statutory requirements of its own constitution, the Nigerian Constitution, and the Electoral Act. The suit was instituted by 3 agreed members of the party: Austin Nwachukwu, Imo PDP chairman; Ama Ibrahim Nnanna, Abia PDP chairman; and Tona Alaba George, PDP secretary, South. In the meantime, the People's Democratic Party has broken into 2 factions, following its decision to suspend Samuel Anyanwu, the party's national secretary, and 3 other members of the party's national working committee. The party announced that this is in pursuant of the provisions of sections 58 and 59 of the PDP constitution as amended. The party also suspended Umar Bature, National Organizing Secretary; Kamal Din Ajibade, the National Legal Advisor; and Okechukwu Usoa, Deputy National Legal Advisor. The officers were suspended for a period of 1 month and referred to the National Disciplinary Committee for further action. Now, Umar Sani is a senior member of the People's Democratic Party. He joins me now to have a quick chat about developments within the People's Democratic Party. Umar Sani, thank you very much for joining us. Known to me as Umar Sani the cat. So, Umar Sani the cat, what is happening in your party? The big issue is whether or not the convention of the party will still take place on November 15, 16 in Oyo State. Now that the court has ruled, the court of Justice James Omotosho, so has the party now suspended activities, or is the party going to go to court and file maybe perhaps an affidavit of urgency tomorrow morning to say that the matter should be heard expeditiously? Tell us, what is going on?
Well, number one, the judge himself did not say he has halted it. He said it is supposed to be halted until we comply with certain requirements. So which means if before then we are able to comply with those requirements, we can continue with our convention. Again, we have so many legal options available. One of which you have outlined. Tomorrow we can file an appeal, and then with an affidavit of urgency requiring the appeal court to hear us urgently, because we don't want to put our convention aside. This is the first time we have worked towards the convention. We have a convention planning committee, and you can even decipher it from the statement issued by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Ologunaga, who now said that all processes leading to the convention should continue, which means that the party is determined to ensure that it complies with every requirement, or on the alternative, seek for other reliefs from the Court of Appeal, which may include to ask for stay of execution of that order, pending when our appeal is heard. So we have several legal options, but that is not to say that we are disturbed by the judgment. We are not disturbed by the judgment. We are forging ahead. Our state chapters have been directed to continue to prepare for the national convention holding in Ibadan. And so those people who are excited that a judge had put hold to our convention should begin to think further, because that convention by the great grace of God, it will hold in Ibadan on the 5th and the 6th, and 15th and 16th of November this year.
Alhaji Sani, let me use one notorious phrase. I put it to you that don't you think that this is a victory for Nyesom Wike, who had said that, look, if the party does not listen to him, if the party does not do what he wants, the party cannot hold a convention in Ibadan. Because this is a factor that you cannot discountenance. He promised to derail the party, and he seems to have made some move in this regard.
Well, he has done his worst, which is to go to Justice Omotosho's court, and seek for that order. We are not very unmindful of the fact that Justice Omotosho will naturally have given this type of order, because most of the judgments affecting Wike, are always naturally something that he normally grants them. So we are not too oblivious. When we were in court, we had already envisaged that this type of things will happen. So we had a plan A, plan B, and plan C. So we are not relying on only the judgment of Justice Omotosho, because when he said that he was going to give judgment on October 31st, we knew that he brought it to a close so that it would be difficult for us to hold the convention, and by the time he delivers his judgment. So we had already planned another route out of that situation. So as far as we are concerned, the convention will hold, and we are going to surprise Wike, and he will have something to be very be annoyed with, because the party is greater than him. The party is greater than any individual or group of individuals. The PDP is a family, and nobody can come in and become a stumbling block to the development of the party. The party has served him. He cannot make himself a lord over the party. The party will move on with or without him. And we don't need him because he is not with us. He is with APC.
Did I hear you trying to impugn the integrity of the Court of Justice James Omotosho? Are you saying that the ruling was expected?
Yes, the ruling was expected.
Yeah, how?
Only that we didn't want to voice it out.
The Judas, we act on the basis of available evidence. On what grounds are you questioning the integrity of the Court of Justice James Omotosho?
When the party moved against Wike to suspend him during Ayocha Ayo's period, it was the matter was decided by Justice Omotosho, who stopped the party from taking decisive action against him. It was after a length of time that he gave a ruling that one cannot even decide what it actually meant. He said the party has the power to discipline him. But he didn't say anything apart from that. And that was after we had already tried as much as possible within the period to deal with him. This is not the first time, and this is not the second time he has done that to the party. So I can assure you that we have so many evidences to prove that we were confident that he was not going to be in our support.
Okay, but are you aware that you can be charged for contempt of court, questioning the wisdom of a learned court of law?
I think there is nothing contemptuous here. What I'm doing is I'm critiquing the judgment of a court. And when I am not abusing the judge. I'm critiquing his judgment. And once I'm critiquing his judgment, as a Nigerian, I have the right to critique judgments that are not in consonance with justice. And this judgment is not in consonance with justice. It's merely a judgment intended to fulfill a certain purpose. And as a Nigerian, I have that right. I'm not the only person who has criticized the judgment. quite a lot of our party bigwigs. Chief Bode George has criticized the judgment, a lot of them. So this is expected.
Okay, Umar, Sani, what's next for the PDP?
Yeah.
Because now there's a lot of anxiety
The PDP,
that the convention in Ibadan may not hold, depending on when the appeal that the PDP has embarked upon or will embark upon tomorrow, the protests that the PDP will be doing. So what next? What's next for the party? Because there are people who are saying the party will implode.
The party is not going to implode. The PDP is still a one family. If you look at the PDP very well, most of the people that are living are people who have positions, in government. Those are the ones that are moving. Those who have been elected senators, House of Reps, governors, and so forth, they are the ones moving. The actual people are not moving. The people are not defecting, they are there. And the PDP is a very strong, virile family. And I can assure you that the PDP is strong, and we are looking forward to ensuring that we have a full-fledged convention. We put in our national officers of the party, and we face the future challenges ahead. We are not deterred by this type of antics. We are used to this type of antics. For every move we make, the court will be brought in to scuttle it. But we will not get tired of the courts coming in to scuttle it, provided that justice is not merely domiciled in the courts. Justice has so many roots, and there is also justice of posterity, and there is justice of God. And so there are so many avenues of justice, and they can come into play as time goes on. So this is, we are not deterred, we are not.
Okay. Alhaji Umar Sani, as we wrap up this conversation,
Sir.
The big issue in Nigeria, the big elephant in the room, is Donald Trump saying Nigeria is a country of particular concern where Christians are being targeted, and that, in fact, the Americans will come to Nigeria, guns are blazing, to protect Christians. You are a Muslim. I know that. Do you think that the matter has reached that level where, Nigeria has to be threatened? Or do you think that there's more to this? Is this about the recent coup plot? Is this about, Trump's objection to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Well, what are the subcurrents?
Well, my thoughts is that President Donald Trump should not be too particular about any religion, but that he should care more about the sanctity of life, whether the life of a Muslim, a Christian, a pagan, an unbeliever, or whoever it is, that his life is lost in Nigeria. And so many lives have been lost in this country. And so President Donald Trump should be more particular about lives lost, because you cannot really determine among lives lost who is actually a Christian, who is actually a Muslim, who is a non-believer, who doesn't go to church, who doesn't go to mosque. People are being killed. It is just a geographical connotation of idea that perhaps if people come from here, those that are killed are all Christians. No, in the Benue massacre, if you take a look, you may discover that maybe about 10, 15 of the 50 that were killed are Muslims. They may be a Tiv or Idoma or any other thing, but they may be Muslims, irrespective of the fact that they come from Benue State. So the issue is not about Christians or Muslims. It is the issue is about the killings in Nigeria. And the killings in Nigeria is very alarming. And government is trying to play politics with the lives of the people. And playing politics with the lives of the people is not going to be tolerated. And if Donald Trump shows interest in Nigeria, America being the police of the world, can show interest in Nigeria and can show interest in elimination of lives, because the primary responsibility of government is to protect lives and property. And if lives of people become worthless, and then somebody else is saying you should not be killing, you should not allow people to be dying like that, then I think that intervention is welcome. But maybe ahead of that, perhaps Donald Trump has some political or motives. That is why he's coming in with such a vengeance, because he has even called our country, a worthless country, which is also very, very, very demeaning for him to call our country. We are patriotic. The country does not belong to Tinubu. It does not belong to the government of APC. The country belongs to all Nigerians. And so anybody who is denigrating our country is denigrating us.
Okay. Umar, Sani, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us. But I think that this is a moment when our country is being positioned against the biggest country in the world. And our primary responsibility should be patriotism. We, all of us, whether Christians or Muslims or traditionalists, we have an obligation to stand up to protect our country against any form of invasion. This is a moment that calls for patriotism and responsible journalism. This is my opinion. I don't know who else, no matter their level of education, who disagrees with this. But thank you very much for joining us.